I found this video that really burned my biscuits. It felt like watching Fox News dumping on Trump or watching CNN and they're praising Trump. It was so backwards to me.
A soliloquy for every movie, for Casablanca, Tommy Boy. He's here, it's him, it's Andrew Toy. It's Andrew Toy.
I really do like WDW Pro. I've watched them for a couple of years and I really like their takes. But this video, well, let's listen to what they say.
Taylor Swift's I Knew It, I Knew You shatters streaming records in first 24 hours. The country track, written for Toy Story 5, set all-time single-day records on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music.
Now, first off, I've listened to the Taylor Swift song. It's I Knew It, I Knew... Thank you. It's I Knew It, I Knew You. It doesn't sound Disney to me. That's my only gripe with it. However, it is up there with early Taylor Swift, back when she was a country girl. It's one of her best country songs, but it's not one of Disney's best songs.
It's not great, but people, I'm not the demo. And that's the thing.
Who is the demo pro?
I think it's girls. I don't know why they keep doing this, but Toy Story 5, I believe, is being positioned as a girl movie.
Toy Story 4 was very much a girl movie as well, with the return of Bo Peep. So I don't know why they're choosing this moment now to get their prickly pants in a bunch. I don't understand. Bo Peep was basically the center of attention in Toy Story 4. She was on all the merchandise and the marketing. And that's when they should have been more upset, because they're just pulling her out of the blue. Jessie's been with the gang since 1990, since the 90s. She's been part of the Toy Story gang almost since the beginning. So I do think that it's time for her to get her own show. Besides the fact, I really, really like Jessie. She is a character that had to have been so hard to put together because she could have so easily been the annoying one in the bunch, but they did her with such grace and just great character growth throughout the series. My heart breaks every time I see her freaking out about getting inside a box or being locked away in a closet.
I think they may pull it off this time, but I think that the franchise will be damaged because of it going forward.
I think they are going to pull it off this time. And I'll tell you, I cheated. I read the little golden book of Toy Story 5 because I thought, you know what, if the world ends before I get to see it, I want to know how the story progresses. What I read in this little golden book, it's a very good story. And I don't think this is a boy versus girl issue. A toy is a toy.
And Toy Story 4, I think, is a terrible movie. And I'm afraid Toy Story 5 might be going that same path.
Toy Story 4 was not a terrible movie. Sure, it's not 100% like the first three, but I think it only got knocked down to like 97%. I'm putting a video out next week. The issue with Toy Story 4 was that the rest of the toys were sidelined, and Buzz, like, they made him come from Retardville Galaxy far, far away. So I think 5 is a great chance for them to redeem Buzz Lightyear, especially after the blasted Lightyear movie that they tried to do. And if you watch the trailer, they're not just bringing Buzz back, they're bringing Buzz, and Buzzmore back.
There's a whole bunch of Buzzes involved, and there's a reason why. There's a whole bunch of me, so there's 100 of me.
Toy Story movies historically have done well. I think Toy Story 4 left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. However, it is Toy Story.
The bad taste left in everybody's mouths from Toy Story 4 is that, again, they sidelined all the toys. And so when they came to Woody at the end and he decided to stay behind, it just wasn't earned for that movie in particular, because they never had interaction time for like 9/10 of the movie. So it was like they were just strangers saying goodbye on their way to Home Depot or whatever. That is where the bad taste comes from. That, and of course, Buzz Retard.
Toy Story 2, when we had that really aggressively sad Jessie song.
Wow, they're actually talking bad about When She Left Me. Whoa. Okay, let's see what else they go for here.
It is a hijack out of the movie for that song, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not. It didn't fit the tone of the. Ever since then, Toy Story has tried to do, okay, well, we're gonna do super peak emotional. We're gonna get audiences to cry. We're gonna get kids to cry.
That's what makes Toy Story stand out from every other movie franchise literally ever made. It's the only franchise where people are begging Disney and Pixar to hurt them where it hurts the most. Punch me in the heart. Make me cry. It's the only demand for these Toy Story movies. 4 times out of 4, it worked for me. Toy Story has always been these stories about grief, loss, growing up, the hardest parts about life that nobody can escape, the passage of time. And that's what makes these stories, these toy stories, stand out from literally every other movie ever made. Because these stories have captured the very real pain of the passage of time. It is Disney and Pixar's responsibility at this point to make us cry in every Toy Story movie. And as long as these stories are tearjerkers, they're gonna be successful. You look on any comment section on any Toy Story video, people constantly say, this is gonna hurt. Oh, I'm going in with a box of tissues. I can't wait to cry again. Because no other movie these days dares to try to move us. And I think we're sick of the staticity of movies now, where they don't bother to try to get our hearts to beat a little faster, or try to get us to think a little bit more about life and the future and death. And, you know, all movies play it safe by just pretending that death doesn't exist and everything is honky-dory. But Toy Story has always been the franchise to turn our faces to the ugly side of life and the truth of life so that we can break down and cry almost every single time.
If they just go back to being fun, if this is just, can we just do a fun movie? You know, if you want to make all the Toy Stories you want, you'll keep making $1 billion each time if they're just fun.
They are all fun. They're all very, very fun. You can have both and. You can cry in a movie and still laugh your butt off. Toy Story 2 is hilarious. I think it's one of the funniest Pixar movies, and it's also extremely, extremely sad. And those, I will always argue, are the strongest movies that will withstand the test of time.
Stop trying to outdo Toy Story 3. Accept the fact you can't outdo Toy Story 3, but just do Toy Story movies.
That's what Universal said. Universal, as soon as they made the first Jurassic Park, I swear to you, even Steven Spielberg said, we're not going to top the first one. And look what's happened to that franchise. It's gone downhill ever since. So no, you should always try to top your best movie. They did that with Toy Story 3. They topped Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 unbelievably topped Toy Story 1. So that's a lesson for all movie studios. You should always choose your best movie in the franchise and make it your absolute goal to top that movie. You have to scale that bar now if you're going to commit to making a sequel that you expect people to spend money on seeing.
And they got to be good. They have to be well written, but they could just be toys go on adventures, and they could have meaningful stories without trying to do we're tugging on your heartstrings every single time now.
Thank God the fake wizard here isn't in the Pixar story room, because I swear his agenda would be to make the Toy Story movies as bland as possible. And if you ask me, Pixar's been doing a pretty damn good job at keeping their movies very bland lately.
I think if this is a 2 for 2 on not good movies, you're in a bad spot, and Pixar can't afford it.
Toy Story 4 is not considered a bad movie. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. What does Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb say? Let's let you, the audience, talk, huh? 97% by critics, 94% audiences. And this is a situation where I think critics are more right, but there's not much of a difference. 7.6 on IMDb. 7 and up is the sweet spot. Is where you want to be. 7.6 is pretty good. There it is. People liked Toy Story 4.
What do you think about this? And does the T-Swift strategy pull this off this time?
I think the T-Swift strategy is really brilliant. Why not take the two largest IPs in the world right now, which is Taylor Swift and Toy Story? Because anytime you bring Toy Story back out from hibernation, it's gonna land right back on top where it was before. So why not put those two together? I think that was a really, really smart move. It's a lot better than matching Toy Story up with Imagine Dragons.
We are in the season of the audience deciding that they're going to punish Disney.
I don't think I agree with what he's saying. At first I did. What was the last live action? Wasn't that Lilo and Stitch? That still made $1 billion. So I don't think people are holding back from Disney at all. And Hoppers, as adequately made as that was, people have been pretty gung-ho voicing their praise for that movie. As a studio, they have done their best to right the ship. And I think we could actually see the ship turning away from the iceberg. Like with Inside Out 2, for instance.
I think that maybe the audience has had enough of Toy Story, and especially the desecration of Toy Story.
If you think Toy Story has been desecrated, let me know down below. I don't see any such desecration.
Is anything under $1 billion a failure?
I want to propose a different way of looking at it. Anything under 90% on Rotten Tomatoes would be a failure for Toy Story. Yeah, I would even say 93% would be too low, which Toy Story 4 is pretty close to, but I hope that's just the worst it gets.
The fact that they're going forward with yet again saying, all right, we're going to hand it off to the girl now, when the audience has plainly told every studio on Earth, we're done with this.
Yeah, we're done with random girl bosses who come out of nowhere, who cannot be defeated and are right about everything. Those are the girls we're done with. We're not done with the girl characters that we grew up loving. Like, everybody grew up with Barbie, and nobody threw a hissy fit over the Barbie movie. That was generally really well liked. I have never heard anybody complain about Jessie the cowgirl. She has been in the movie. She's not ever proven to be the girl boss where she's always right.
Oh, Woody, we were wrong to leave Andy. I was wrong.
Jesse's right, Woody. She was wrong.
In fact, that's what makes her so lovable, is that she is very vulnerable and she has her weak spots and she wears her heart on her sleeve. She's exactly the kind of girl character that I think works really well in movies.
I don't know that the kids are that into it anymore. I don't know really what they're going to see.
Okay, I will admit, I'm the one dragging my kids to see Toy Story 5.
If the parents don't want to go see the movie, they probably won't drag the kids to it.
If it weren't for me, they probably wouldn't even know that it's out.
Will it be something that you can take the kids to and keep them busy for 2 hours? Yeah, but it's expensive.
That's true too. I was looking at tickets and I haven't bought them yet because I'm having second thoughts about paying that much for a 2-hour movie. I don't want to have to choose between taking my kids to an afternoon at the movie theaters or feeding them for a week. If you want to help me out so I can go to the theaters to give you better and quicker reviews, please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. That will at least help get my channel in the direction of being monetized. So that would be a big help.
In Toy Story 2, they kind of set up the differences between the way boys and girls play. They're not really going back to that. It's sort of a trying to make it like there's no change. There's no difference between Bonnie and Andy.
False. If you watch the Toy Story 5 trailer, you will see just in the wedding scene alone, there is a big difference between the way Andy and Bonnie play. There's hardly any comparison. Andy would never have any of his toys get married, and he never thought of his toys in this charcoal, pastel, way that Bonnie seems to think of her toys when she's imagining playtime with them.
I think the nostalgia is over.
Nope. The nostalgia for Toy Story will never end. It's the franchise that essentially created nostalgia bait. And because it's the franchise that created it, it's the one that succeeds at it the most.
I think this is the first time we've got a shot at the Minions taking down Toy Story.
Here's the thing. We're after this week, we are officially in a world now where Scary Movie 6 takes down He-Man, Masters of the Universe. That's the world we're living in now. We're not very far off from being in a world where Minions dominates Toy Story 5. I think that's going to happen. And if it does it again in 2 weeks with Toy Story 5 versus Minions, I won't. What do we do then? What do we do then? It's not the end of the world. Well, for me as a movie critic, it is. I don't want to see that happen. I would take a bad Toy Story movie over a good Minions movie.
It's going to come down to, do parents want to keep going to see the Minions movies, and also do parents want to keep going to see Toy Story movies?
Okay, if there's any parents out there who want to see a Minions movie over a Toy Story movie, I think they're the problems. Those are the people who are giving us this scary movie problem. They're the ones going to Scary Movie 6 and not any other better film that's out there. They're the ones that are giving us these entertainment issues that we are facing.
This movie might be in more trouble than I had first thought. Maybe T Swift is the one who's popular, maybe not Pixar.
And even if that's the case, Pixar did itself a favor. If they weren't completely clicking with audiences 2 weeks ago, well, they are now. Because now they've got Taylor Swift backing their movie. And if that brings in more crowds, just so they could hear a song from their favorite artist, so be it. They are likely going to get a damn good movie in the process.
I think the audience is sick of Disney. I think the audience is sick of what Disney has been doing. And I think the audience is sick of endless sequels. I think that they're ready for something original that is family-friendly and that reminds them why they liked Toy Story as it was conceived.
So many people are saying that Disney needs to start putting out more originals. Well, if they're going to keep putting out originals looking the way they have in the last 5 years, no thank you. Give me more sequels. I would rather take 5 mediocre movies like Inside Out 2 than 10 original movies if they're going to be as bad as they've been. Just be good enough that my kids will actually sit through your movie. I would take a good Minions movie over another Elio, I'll tell you that. That's how bad Elio was. And if there ever is a good Minions movie, no skin off my back, because I ain't ever going to watch it.
I think if they wanted to do a Toy Story movie that would be popular, they actually needed to fix Buzz after Lightyear. And they're not doing that. And I think that's a mistake.
That was Toy Story 1. Toy Story 1 has Buzz on the side of the VHS cover. Toy Story 2 has Woody on the side of the cover. So I think they've each had their time in the sun with the first 3 movies. It's just 4 is where we got a little sidetracked. And I think this is going to be the movie that's going to right the ship in the right direction. Anyway, what do you think about Toy Story 5? Are you looking forward to seeing it? Are you going to go see it? What would it take for you to go see a Toy Story movie if you're not wanting to see this one? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. At all. I'm against instructable girl characters in movies.